Hey, what's up you guys? We are back with another contact lens review. Now I'm gonna be completely honest with you. These are not the lenses I was planning on reviewing. However, ColorCL shop did go ahead and shoot me an email and they're like, listen, we're releasing another edition of the Siesta Pearl and this time around, they're gonna be more natural. And I was like, more natural. That is like my brand. That's exactly what I wanted from the last one. Now don't get me wrong, the Siesta Pearls were gorgeous last time, but a couple of those colors were a bit more poppin' than I would normally go for. However, I went ahead and took a look at the email and I was like, this is natural? We've got colors like ash, which seem fine, forest, which seems fine, then we've got coral, khaki, lavender, and pink. How is this normal? Especially because of their construction, which is very, very unique. I was like, there is no way that these things could be natural. However, they are, and they're absolutely gorgeous. So let's go ahead and jump on in. Alright, now before I get ahead of myself, I do want to drop in some close-ups of my natural brown eyes while I go ahead and read you these stats. The base curve is 8.6 millimeters, the diameter is 14.2 millimeters, which basically means they're the same as the Siesta Pearl last time, and they are also replaceable in 6 months. So you've got a good long time out of these, and these will be launching August 1st. So before I pop these in, I did want to make a couple notes on construction because these ones are built quite differently than the original Siesta Pearl. The originals were basically the main color on the outside with some striations into the center and a little bit of a silver glitter kind of meeting them right there. They had a nice tight pupil hole, basically called it a day there. However, these ones actually have a really unique patterning where they've got a bit of like a galaxy swirl going on, and as it kind of gets closer to the pupil hole, it slowly feathers out. Now, this does lead to a slightly bigger pupil hole. However, those featherings kind of like blend into your natural color a little bit better. Thus, the whole naturality of this line. However, that's not where it ends because there are some very unique properties to this. Now, on the outside of the contact is going to be the main color. However, on the inside, as it slowly feathers and swirls in, that's where things get a little bit interesting. Now, taking the Siesta Pink, for example, they actually have a stronger pop of like magenta towards the center, and they've got a pop of like light blue on the other end. And I'm like, okay, so it's like pink, and then a stronger pink, and then like a soft blue. And I'm like, how is this supposed to be natural? But they are actually my favorite colors, so I figured we would go ahead and start off with those. And also note, these feel a little bit more glittery than the original, yet somehow still managed to be more natural. Now I know what you're thinking, how are these supposed to be pink, right? That's exactly what I said the first time that I put them on, because when you look at them in the actual blister and when you take them out, they are very, very pink, and they've got that extra pop of pink kind of like towards one end of the eye, but as you can see, they're actually scarily, strangely natural. I don't know how they did it. However, this does kind of remind me of the previous video where I was really fond of the Siesta Pearl Purple because it kind of plays this weird eye trick on you where like, okay, it's pink, but it's also got like the shimmer of blue, but it's also kind of blending into the eye, so it kind of has this weird pinky brown. And as you can tell, in the eye, they don't look pink whatsoever. I am super, super jazzed about these, and this, I think, is one of my favorite colors of the bunch. I think it has something to do with the blend of the silver glitter and like some of the pink blending in with the brown and then the blue kind of making it kind of cooler. I don't know. Regardless, I think it's absolutely freaking gorgeous. Now, next up is the Siesta Pearl Lavenders, and I wanted to go ahead and tackle this one because this is another one of the colors I was like, oh, that's a very unique color. How is that gonna be natural? Now, if I'm gonna be completely honest with you, the color is a little bit less lavender and a little more periwinkle to me. This is the closest to a blue that you're going to get in this set, and they're actually pretty freaking fantastic. For something called lavender, they're actually extremely wearable. Again, that silver kind of mixes into it and kind of shifts it a little bit closer to a blue. Now, as for like the inner swirl area, there's a soft touch of pink pink on one side, and there's a little bit of a stronger blue on the other side. Again, you can't really tell too much when you've actually got them in the eye. It's more kind of like when you have them in the blister. But it's really nice because it blends in really prettily and has kind of like a feel to it that's a bit dreamy, but somehow still slightly natural. Okay, so following that up, we have the Siesta Pearl khakis, and these ones, I'm gonna be completely honest with you, are a bit of an enigma to me because they're very much like a color changing one depending on the lighting that you're in and the way that you're looking, because these ones, if you see them on paper, they just look yellow, and the normal yellow tone kind of combines down into an ashy brown. However, mixed in with that silver glitter and a little bit of this kind of like blue-green tone that they've got into it, it really creates this interesting, almost hazel kind of play to the eyes. I almost refer to this as the Romance India of the Pearl collection because it's got a little bit of the yellow swirl that kind of makes a little cool brown tone on one side when you're putting it in your natural eye, and then it's got this kind of like deeper teal, blue, green kind of tone, and you really kind of can't tell unless you're up close to see it, but it all blends in to make this really, really cool, like hazily kind of contact. It's definitely one of the stranger mixes of the bunch, but one of my favorite. So while the Siesta Pearl khaki looked like it had a touch of green blended into that hazel, the Siesta Pearl Forest are undoubtedly the green based ones, and these ones are freaking fantastic. They've definitely got more of an emerald green base to them, and swirled in, you've got a little touch of blue on one side, and you've got a little touch of that yellow on the one side that kind of makes for that ashy brown. But I think it looks absolutely amazing, and of course mixed in with that metallic silver, giving you a little bit of that gray reflect back. Everything kind of blends in very beautifully and very, very naturally. I don't usually feel comfortable rocking green contacts. It's just not necessarily my color. However, these ones definitely do a great job. Moving along, we have Siesta Pearl Coral. Now, if I'm gonna be completely honest with you, this is the least natural of the bunch. It's a gorgeous color. However, there are a couple things that I'm not necessarily super fond of with this. The color itself is this kind of like orangey pinky tone. The issue is, on the outside ring, with any of the other colors, it kind of created this almost natural limbo ring if it did not necessarily like lay over your eye. So that was fine with the other tones. However, with this one, because of the fact that that coral is so strong, it almost creates this pinky ring around your eye. Now, of course, it's only something that someone is going to notice when they're up close. So it might not be an issue for you whatsoever because the rest of the contact is absolutely gorgeous. We have that cooling effect of the silver glitter, also mixed in with a little splash of yellow on one side and a little splash of that magenta pink on the other side. Again, when these lay over your eyes, they actually create a kind of like ashy brown on one side and a warmer brown on the other side. So it's a really, really interesting blend that goes along with that cool silver. It's really, really pretty still. I still think it is wearable. However, the one thing that I will highly suggest is to make sure you get yourself some whitening drops for your eyes. So if you have any redness in there, it can kind of accentuate it with that kind of soft coral ring around the eye. Otherwise, I still think it's absolutely gorgeous. Just make sure that you don't get any red eyes. And last but definitely not least is Siesta Pearl Ash. And oh my god, can I tell you how much I freaking love these. Now, one of my issues with some of the other grays and silvers that you find out there is that they tend to come off a little bit blue. However, because of the fact that the Siesta Pearl has that silver glitter in there, it really kind of cools everything down and almost makes it look like metallic. It's kind of like you have Colossus eyes. I absolutely love it. And the color grading here is really interesting because of course we have got that kind of medium gray on the outside. However, on the inside it's got some lighter gray on one part and then some darker gray on the other part. Almost kind of like black feathering, which helps it blend into your eye extremely well. I cannot get over these. These might be my favorite silver ones so far because they do come off very silvery rather than kind of like silvery bluish that we've seen in the past. This is metallic and just molten. I love it. Oh my god, it is so cool. This is probably my second favorite of the bunch. Legitimately, this whole set has been absolutely amazing, and this is just a great way to kind of add some cool metal icing to that cake. So to close things out, I thought I would go ahead and toss back in the Siesta Pearl Pink because they are definitely my favorite of the bunch. In fact, if I had to rank them, I think it would go Siesta Pearl Pink, then Siesta Pearl Ash, and finally the Siesta Khakis. The other ones are great too, however, those ones are my choices. In fact, go ahead and leave down in the comments below which ones were your favorite. Now, don't forget this collection does launch August 1st at ColorCL.com. You can use the code ROB10 to get 10% of your order. So I think they're originally $15.99, and then with my code you can get them for $13.50. They're available in all types of prescriptions at no extra charge. So go ahead and check them out as soon as they drop. However, take a look at the rest of the collection because they are fantastic as well. So that about does it for me for now, and as always, love somebody, hurt nobody, and touch your body. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.